But for FaZe, yeah, while this has been a mainstay of their map pool across, you know, the entire time Ancient has been in active duty, it's still not going to be easy. There's plenty of data for Monte. You know they've come in prepped, and I can't wait to see what FaZe are going to bring to the table here, if they're going to play with any amount of respect against these very hungry young players willing to prove themselves on a big stage.
Yeah, you know, when we heard from Carrigan earlier on, he kind of spoke about how he doesn't really feel that Monte have had the time to change much, right? He says that they have the fundamentals down, but I think that maybe gives someone like Carrigan a big degree of confidence, knowing that he's coming into today with a good bit of research under his belt. I like this. I like this view.
Yeah, great shot.
That's sick. Okay.
And I think we're getting in here as well soon, Harry, so waiting in spawn for the first map of the major right now. It's an exciting time. Some have even said it's the last CSGO major, so we're going to have to find out who's going to be taking trophies here as we await map 1 on Ancient. BO1s across the day, folks. We've got them coming to you on both streams over on Blast TV as well, so check it out as we get into our first match of the day. It's FaZe Clan, it's Monte. The Blast TV Paris Major has officially begun.
The beginning of the end is now upon us. And here we go. It's Monte with a CT side start. Already out into middle. Twist is here trying to take him down. He does like a bit of a mid fight, does Twist. He's very comfortable here. Both sides of the map even. Ooh. And one way so spotted out over in top mid, and two players playing over the top of it. Twist is keen to get involved. He doesn't want to overplay his hand here. He's kept them at bay in middle while his teammates have secured this B site. Rain is the man to open, and Carrigan alongside him going to make quick work of Monte before they even really get set up to retake this round.
Love that from FaZe. It's a statement, and no better duel, I think, to go on than, you know, the MVP of FaZe's major win in Rain, taking down the star of the show in Boris, right? Straight up long and straight in with a pistol round come FaZe. I like how Maui's discussion lent towards Rain as well on the desk, talking about the cave position, about how we've called him the caveman in this spot, and Rain's going to go on and slaughter everyone in this pistol round. But this guy, yeah, he's kept it going, and obviously cave, a position that's changed a lot considering we had affected spawns for CT sides getting there later. That first room of Jaguar, we call it, isn't necessarily a guarantee anymore for CTs to take control, and so we'll have to see how much pressure is put on the lane side coming into some of these gun rounds for FaZe, whether Rain can do it on T and CT alike. Pistol rounds taken, Monte come in with a force buy, and FaZe have plenty of rifles to deal. Molly immediately. Carrigan's got some control. It does fall a little bit short, but he recognizes that. Monte realize they lose the cave. They want to go fight ramp instead. Three players moving through. Silent for now, but Rain is here with a rifle.
Yeah, he's going to have his work cut out for him and run down by the first man. Krasnov finds him. And so now Carrigan, wanting to try and keep them at bay, lock them in. With that smoke over at lane, gives him a little more freedom to move in with the rest of the team. Monte call the bluff, they come through. Boros out on an island.
Uh-oh.
Roki tries to move back up to deal with it, but this smoke is nice. You see, like FaZe, they just tried to get this mid control, and they've been locked out at every single turn, right? Denied presence over towards Donut, smoked off over on the lane. So suddenly all their efforts are in vain in this round, and it grinds to a bit of a jarring halt here. These are the rounds where, you know, when this sort of happens, it starts to get out of hand very, very quickly. Everything you've tried has been disrupted. The util's been in your way now to kind of take the pace out of the round. Slowing it down here isn't the end of the world. It gives them a time to regroup and try to play this 3v5, but you know, in amidst all of this, Monte have repositioned as well, and they're now replenishing some of this utility over towards B. So FaZe have really got their work cut out for them. This is going to be like a final 10-second push into the site, and so the entries have got to come cleanly.
If Boris gets one kill, he might have done his job from this position, anchored in with seconds to spare. FaZe move up the ramp. There's a flash, but Boris is unperturbed, undisturbed until Brokey jumps the corner. The bomb's loose. It's unwinnable for Rops. He can get all the kills. He cannot plant. Monte will win that force buy. FaZe cannot sit pretty. They cannot relax. Immediately put under the hammer, and Monte get all the kills and save an AK to boot. That could not have gone better for the underdogs, stealing it away in the second. And I love the way they play that. It's so active. They realize they lose Cave. They take a lot of space. They funnel FaZe into the double setup in Donut. FaZe lose fights on both sides of the map, and they have to just desperate panic back into B. Great round from Monte. And that's the worst case scenario, right? You never want to lose second round after winning pistol. Look at what FaZe have, man. It's even less than Monte brought to the table. A couple of smokes. They want to run an exec, and DemQQ is already ahead of it.
Oh, only the one and done. Waro 2K here was meant to get these trades, but instead ends up feeding Rain. Sumdai Young tries to make a play quickly, wants to try and deny this control out through main. Sumdai Young is served up on a silver platter, and now they spot the man at default as well. Rain's having one hell of a game right here.
Yeah, he has started rip-roaring, ready to go. Even that kill in main with the Deagle should never have been his. Monte with a double aggressive push. And well, suddenly they'll get a taste of their own medicine, won't they? Arming their opponents and leaving just this young star on the flank. He can't go for it.
Gotta say, it's very, very promising having Rain looking this good out of the gate, right? We often say he's kind of a big game player, right? Yes. When the pressure's on, Rain will come alive. And I think with, you know, all majors, there's extra pressure because, you know, it feels that much more tied to the game. This is like the crowning jewel achievement in Counter-Strike. But, you know, the fact that it is the last one in Global Offensive, I think adds a kind of unique pressure to the table. And it wouldn't surprise me if that kind of makes Rain a bit of a diamond here throughout the playing stages. I would love to see him, you know, start strong in the Challenger stage and then still keep that up, moving all the way through to the playoffs if FaZe can get there.
Yeah, I love the way you frame that in big game player, because like on paper, sure, this isn't a big game. It's an opener matchup. You can lose a couple of BO1s, you can still recover. But for FaZe, on the flip side, it is a big game because if they're a team that, while we could see winning the whole thing, they're also a team we could see underwhelm and drop out in the Challenger stage. We've already seen it before. So I think for FaZe, every game is a big game right now. And so good to have Rain on your side. Gets that molly in immediately, and Jag is under their control. The back and forth affairs have begun early, and more Deagles for Monte. FaZe will take mid. We've got a lot of room here. Can never be assured that Donut is clear, and so FaZe will be willing to use a lot of utility, and it helps that no one's there. This is all a bit of a ruse right now, as FaZe can climb back up B if they want. Rops and Brokey outside of the A site. We see Rops with a myriad of executes available, plenty of smoke lineups, but not available in this round. Most of the util's been thrown out. FaZe will recommit to Donut later and go for an A hit. Monte are all here.
The scout makes contact, but they don't know the true numbers inside of this site. Even though they've dealt with that first man, the boost now plays into it. But FaZe is swift with the reply. Out comes Krasnov with the Deagle, and it's a lot of damage, but denied at the end by Rain. That's just the kind of safety net on that round.
He's multi-killed every round FaZe have won, right? 3K on the pistol, sure they lose second, 3Ks in the third round, 2Ks there. He's saved FaZe in this beginner, no doubt about it. God, what a terrifying round right now. But the fact that FaZe can keep that in their pocket when the scout gets 2 tags off and the first kill goes to Monte up in A main, that's impressive. It doesn't get too out of control. Nades in mid, pretty expected, pretty standard, and so no one makes a mistake. Rops lobs his in, but they delay it instead. That's fantastic. Now it's going to have to just be this B hit. FaZe will get up and ahead of it. They recognize the threat and they avoid it completely. I love those very delayed nades. They realized that FaZe weren't going to be going insta out mid on an anti-eco. Late T-side mid takes are far more common nowadays. Just to get after that CT utility, the molly and nade combos. And so FaZe can feast now and get rid of these pistols. But from what was a worrying start with FaZe losing round 2, more than made up for now. There's no reason to chase this, but the bomb radius is massive. Brokey goes this way, he'll die. Yeah, he has to
Brokey
commit.
now realizes, like, oh dear.
He's in trouble. He's dead. Yeah, okay. Well, do they get the AK? No, probably not. Ooh, yes, last second. Waro finds it, but FaZe still find 4-1. This was nice. Don't see that every day. But it's only a Mac 10.
Still, you know, I think now the Monte have got all the little bells and whistles. They've done some great work in rounds where they've had even limited util at making FaZe's life miserable. So this is where you're hoping they can kind of get right back on the board.
Delayed BXX, they wait the molly, they smoke it last second, and they go.
Oh, they can't. Oh, Bora's really caught with util out inside of the site. He will just make it back in a cave. Trade places, but Monte are here, knocking down the door on the backstab. They've got full lane control. FaZe are in a bit of a weird spot here. They've had to try and push up and pressure, take long away. Bomb is planted for them at least. They go swinging down at the ramp. It's an awkward fight for Twists & Co. And Carrigan should be a dead man here. He's going to get run down. Yeah, that one gets very confusing, right? Once they lose lane, they go to try and take long, but then it feels like they kind of decided against it, knowing that there were a lot of players coming up through ramp. They saw at least, you know, 2 over towards lane, and they knew there was at least 1 player in cave.
Yeah, it seemed like they changed their mind last second and wanted to either move back towards cave or site, but they did it as the cave smoke faded. So they're just swinging ramp for fights or to reposition, and then the cave players also crossfiring. So FaZe get a little caught out in the madness there. It was a very uncomfortable round to begin with in a 3-on-5. But CT control was really their only way in. Big round from Monte on the defense, and Warriors even got his AWP as well into this rifle round. They blanket mid, and Sundar Young will climb up as well. They're just so active. Look at this control.
Oh, and over in mid, Demq might be blind, but he's still going to line them up. Lane reclaims 1 on his lurk over towards lane, but he's tagged up. He can't really commit to this any further. The bomb's going to move back around and join him. However, Monte have got the util to just keep, you know, keep denying this presence through the doorway. They've dropped in another piece of utility, and now they've set up this crossfire. Sundar Young is challenging down into mid, but he's also able to turn around and help out when FaZe try to come through this door.
It's a good sell, because if anything, it might make FaZe check the wrong 50-50 angle here, and Krasnal's just a little bit wider, so he can guarantee to cover his teammates back. FaZe need to flash this angle. They only have 1, though. Rops leads, or Rain rather. He dies immediately, and now Rops must use his flashbang to get Brokey in position. But they know it's a crossfire. Molly's good. Krasnal backs up, and they line up for him. 1 more kill. He is causing problems here for FaZe, and Rops, at what cost, takes that trade. 1v3, running away, and Monte will not let him save in this round.
Yeah, they know they've got him boxed in. You can just wait this down long enough where if he got the kills, there's no world he can win it anymore. And they can look to remove this gun. You know exactly where he is.
Yeah.
And so at least 1 player should eventually make this move to go hunting.
They don't have to, right? There's an argument to build up your own money. You know Rops is pretty crispy, but yeah, 2 players together feels like a guaranteed trade at this point. They know they've done a lot of damage, so they'll have a little look-see at the end, and they will get that trade that they were vying for. Fantastic round for Monte again. The proactive nature of the CT side, man. They kill him after time. This is crazy. That should never happen, right? DemQQ just lines up a double in mid-blind. But even that lane take off the back of it, allowed by DemQQ, let Sundar Young climb up, assist towards B. They push down ramp again. Monte have not been waiting for FaZe to make moves. They are happy to initiate. You
know, and in 2 of the 3 rounds that Monte have won now, there's been these deaths after time for FaZe. So this is like on its way to causing them money problems early on. They're having to just take an eco now. Play the round out with the Eagles. And now last time, they were able to find some success in their low buy. But this one doesn't inspire the same confidence. Boros, he is going to check for it. And so he opens the round, takes it 1 step further as Carrigan thrust into the crosshair as well. And I mean, now with lane taken, this has been a bit of a staple of the Monte CT side so far, right? Really wanting to take this control away, and look at the triple layered setup here. Like, you're not getting through these doors.
He's anti as well.
FaZe ain't walking through this door.
Well, they're going to have to try eventually. Don't want to save Glocks. Krasnal will remind them why it's not the move. Sees a shadow and takes an easy kill. They just sweep the board clean. Monte level the playing field at 4-4. Competitive early. They get momentum sucked out of them early as they win a force buy, but then FaZe go on to do it right back. But as soon as we give Monte guns, they remind us who they are. Still no T-side ult for Brokey, and part of that is the money issue you were talking about with these deaths after time, these denied saves for FaZe. So Monte right now are the ones in control. On this corner, he will obliterate them, but he hears them leaving. DemQQ can flank, Warrior hits the mid shot, and FaZe getting cut apart.
Oh, now they know. Hang on. DemQQ locked in this fight. Oh, and he is going to win it. That's the bomb away from FaZe Clan. The remaining two are churned up on the ramp push. Rain is a dead man. And so Monte with a very, very clean 5th round. That is a huge way to win it. Like, FaZe never even really had like that moment where you go, okay, this round's getting out of hand, let's slow it down. Like, the round was done in a matter of seconds. The moment they try to get out mid, you know, they're triple killed by a guy from top red, Donut, AWP, and then when they go back with the bomb, that's when they run into DemQ, who's pushed all the way through main. So it's like, as far as, you know, FaZe felt in that round, it was like instantly the round was over. As soon as they tried their opening move, that was it. Round done.
There was a gap in the red smoke as well, a pretty sizable gap.
Yeah, Young played through it. It almost looked intentional for him, but
I don't know if he blocked it or dropped his own. FaZe was throwing util, so I think it was theirs.
No, and if it is theirs, that's worrying.
It was a big hole. I want to say he blocked it, but I have no evidence to back up my claim. Just like I'm giving FaZe
the become a lawyer, man.
I'm giving FaZe the benefit of the doubt that they don't do that. Like, that's horrendous, that smoke. So maybe I'm wrong.
I'll keep my eyes on it. Yeah. See if he's doing anything weird.
All right, FaZe can try and bludgeon B now. They've got nothing to lose with Tech 9s. Get that volley in. Krasnal tries to play ahead of it, and that right there is the difficulty of Cave with those spawns. Rain's now armed, and you said he's been the big game player, Harry. Well, they need him more than ever. Spammed out, almost dead. It's up to the B hold. Brokey hits one before swinging with flashbangs, and very well set up by his squad. Puts him right there for the round. It's up to Rain again.
Oh, and that nade tickles him down low with the AWP to finish off. A convincing hold for Monte. Yeah, they take a fair few casualties, but I really like the way they play in these moments, man. Like, they heard the footsteps over towards B. They could tell that was an up-tempo pace being played by FaZe. They pull everyone around, right? And at every kind of turn in this round, they were flashing for each other. They were trying to go for these aggro peaks. A lot of teams like to turtle in, you know, kind of try to play the crossfires. But for Monte, it was setting up player after player, just throwing fight after fight down range towards FaZe. It's a stylish way to win the round.
Oh, they don't smoke mid for the first time on this CT side. Warrior wants to fight it instead. He doesn't fire on the flash. He really wants to get something out of this, but they've seen his position. He has to smoke a Molotov. FaZe are trying to keep the pressure on. Great assisting utility again from Monte, but Warrior is still committed to this fight.
There's a lovely double mid set up here, right? Right above Warrior, you actually had a second man, right? Just leaning in some Young, playing over the top of that one-way at red. So even if they tried to punish the AWP there, it feels like it would have at least been traded.
Rain knows there's no way that he's anywhere but this corner. And he hits the shot. Consistent as ever, 14-6. The one hero right now for FaZe, the one player you feel like you can rely on, and FaZe will have to in this round. They go all back to B off of that opening kill. And now Monte must make concessions, must make a gamble. Boros is even leading out of the bomb site, but Young's come to reinforce it. They have no util. It's all up to gunfights in this round for Monte. On paper, this should be a FaZe round. Can Monte do anything to change the tide?
There's this one flash on Boros that could be used to set up his ramp man, but wrecked by the first flash, and so the line crumbles quickly for Monte. This defense torn through. FaZe Clan find a way in.
Still believing.
Waro 2K, it's ballsy. He's trapped out behind this smoke.
Nice.
And he will die as it fades. So there we go. FaZe back on the board. They break that 5-round streak that Monte were on.
Karrigan making a heroic play. He realized he had to. He jumps through that ramp smoke to set Twist up for 2 trade kills in that round. And yeah, Twist does what he needs to close it out. Important shots. And that AWP, sure, there was plenty of money. That's why Warrow's going for it.
Let's go!
FaZe, focus FaZe, making noise, coming in with another gun round after a bit of an absence, because it was 5 in a row for Monte. Once they hit their rifles, FaZe going to go back to what works.
Brokey is the AWP, so they throw him up on the boost. But here's this lane take from Monte. They play over the top of these smokes, they push down the ramp, and they lock FaZe out of the lane.
This is some incredible lane control in the CT side. FaZe have not... When Monte wants it, Monte get it. There's no question. The double jump through the smoke and a ramp player walking down. And there's more.
Yeah, the thing I love as well is like they're pretty fluid with it. Like once they actually have lane, they're down to go and explore other avenues here. Like Rops, this could be a lineup, but it's just the one and done. Boros with the trade, and now it's all left to Karrigan. I know that he was one of the players that pushed down the ramp side, so Karrigan feels safe to go running in with this bomb, and that's going to give him a route in the clutch. Karrigan normally good in these clutches, but not today, as Boros is quick on the rotate back through cave. Puts a stop to him.
Yeah.
You breathe a little sigh of relief there if you're Monte. You really didn't want Karrigan to find a way to bring that into the 1v1 with the bomb planted, and it never gets that far.
I just love that move to double jump through that smoke on the cave side. It's just so unexpected. I've never seen anything like it. And Monte, the freedom of being the underdog here is that you're never scared. You have no reason to be scared. You're expected to lose this game, sure, with all the upset potential in the world, with all the, you know, eyes on you. You don't have to let FaZe play their game. You can be obnoxious. You can be obtuse. You can do what you did in the RMR that got you here. And so they continue to keep an up-tempo on this CT side. We might have an AWP head-to-head. Robs is lining up that flurry of util into this A site, but Warrow is in the right place at the right time.
Oh, he's caught by that flash more than he would have liked, and it kind of forced him off the angle. Playing through the smokes is Sumdai Young. There's a whole wall down in the site, and he's catching mollies left and right. Sumdai Young manages to get out of there and stay alive. That keeps the 4-on-4 open. You can see how scary it is. FaZe don't really want to plant this bomb. And luckily enough, they won't. MQQ relieves them of that duty. Warrow 2K takes out Brokey in amidst all the chaos. And now that util, that smoke screen has faded, it's to the advantage of Monte. The wallbang comes in, a barrel spotted, and Rob's knocked out of the round. It's all onto Rain. He's grabbed the bomb and he's going to run away.
Psych.
Make the footsteps, come back in. First man in Donut has fallen for this, and they've not seen him crossing back out of main. He's got the drop on Morrow here. This has got the makings of something for Rain. First kill found, and he knows about the Donut player. 20 seconds left on the clock. He's going to get the bomb planted. Rain in with a chance. This was a 1v2 when it begins, and now there's just one man left to beat.
No kit, no smoke, and an open plant for Rain to await. The MQQ has to make the first move. This sneak is nothing. He needs to tap. Rain is ready. Here's that. Knows exactly where his opponent lies. And Rain ready to force the fight. Ready to win the first clutch out for FaZe. Another tap. He's got it right where he wants him, but he can't win the fight. It's going to be close, but I think MQQ has got it in the 1v1. Oh, I don't... Oh! Maybe not.
Oh, no!
Oh, it's FaZe with a 1v2 for Rain.
4 short on the defuse.
Peaks just late enough. A sigh of relief, I think, for FaZe after that one. There was no guarantee.
Beautiful from Rain there. Wonderfully done. And, you know, it's in those little moments, right? Like, I think a lot of players, if you were going to try and fake the footsteps like that, might have waited longer to recommit. But Rain is so decisive in that move, and you know, he kind of plays up to the experience and the idea that maybe Monte in that 2v1, a team that are very mobile, that like to roam the map, are going to fall for the footsteps and try to play ahead of it. So he kind of calls their bluff there and works out beautifully. Deagle opens up this round, and there's still the AWP in play on Waro. He nails his side of the deal, and Boros keeps offering up kills in defense of this B site. Bomb now getting planted for FaZe, sure, but it's a 2v5 that they've got to hold on to. Bit of damage done to Open. Twister's going to try and take space, and he will do exactly that. Now it's just the cave hold left to deal with.
You just can't relax. Not for a moment. Krasner, oh, they just end it in an instant. FaZe pull back a 2-on-5, and then Monte saved the day with a double. Just coming straight through cave. There was no question whether those last two players were inside of there for FaZe, and they still can't convert it. Nice try from Twist, but Monte win the half at a bare minimum on the CT side. There's something to be said for that as well. This map has definitely gotten more T-sided, and when you consider FaZe as favorites as well, as you definitely should, Monte right now are as competitive as we wanted them to be in this matchup, as we expected after their performance on the RMR. And Boros, who had a few quiet maps to begin, or a few quiet rounds rather to begin, has really stepped up massively. Meanwhile on the B stream, Pain 11-1. Not much going on there for Fluxo.
Krasnal to Open. Raid, as he does best, gets a trade over towards cave. FaZe looking to split the difference in round 15 and offer up one more here. They've kept it even for themselves now. They're going to try and take middle. It's smoked down, and oftentimes Sumdayoung's been playing over the top of that, so if your FaZe even seeing it in mid maybe gives you a moment of pause here. Wara's scoped in. Creeping underneath him is Boros. They're playing this double cave setup. Now, FaZe have often smoked the entrance to cave from the site side, right? So there is a world where this AWP rifle could get locked out. But it looks like FaZe want to try and come in through cave. And this is not to their benefit. Not with this hold that Monte are running here.
Unscope on that Molotov. It leaves Boros alone. He's got to do everything. Wara re-peeks through it after smoking it and still gets that follow-up kill. A second too slow for Twist. Would have found that trade onto the AWP. But now FaZe again are in another 2-on-4, and Boros even goes a step further. This probably won't be cleared, right? It's so late to play this position. He goes for both. Runs out of ammo. Twist turns around, and the clutch has begun. Can they shut it out before it starts? Yes, they can. Monte win the half, and solid at that. 9 rounds on the CT side. The major has started, and it's already looking scary for FaZe.
I think it has to be last 4 finals, I think. That's 4 finals in 2021 in Copenhagen, in Warrior Arena, with the last dance of the French team. That was like so fun to play. Just we did the final against Navi. We had a lot of fun moments playing against Australia just before in semi-final. Like just, I said that a lot, like just making quiet the crowd.
Yeah.
It was pretty fun to be honest. I just had a really good moment back in the day. When the French team stopped at some point, and we had that war final in Copenhagen. I remember I didn't want to cry, but it came out without like asking. It's still emotional for me to talk about that because that was a really good moment with the French.
Boros, who had a few quiet maps to begin, or a few quiet rounds rather to begin, has really stepped up massively.
The bomb planted, Rain in with a chance. This was a 1v2 when it begins, and now there's just one man left to beat.
No kit, no smoke, and an open plant for Rain to await. The MQQ has to make the first move. This sneak is nothing. He needs to tap. Rain is ready. Here's that. Knows exactly where his opponent lies, and Rain ready to force the fight, ready to win the first clutch out for FaZe. Another tap. He's got him right where he wants him, but he can't win the fight. It's going to be close, but I think DemQQ has got it in the 1v1. Oh, I don't... Oh! Maybe not.
Oh, no!
Oh, it's FaZe. But a 1v2 for Rain.
4 short on the defuse.
Peaks just late enough. A sigh of relief, I think, for FaZe after that one. There was no guarantee.
Beautiful from Rain there. Wonderfully done. And, you know, it's in those little moments, right? Like, I think a lot of players, if you were going to try and fake the footsteps like that, might have waited longer to recommit. But Rain is so decisive in that move, and you know, he kind of plays up to the experience and the idea that maybe Monte in that 2v1, a team that are very mobile, that like to roam the map, are going to fall for the footsteps and try to play ahead of it. So he kind of calls their bluff there and works out beautifully. Deagle opens up this round, and there's still the AWP in play on Waro. He nails his side of the deal, and Boros keeps offering up kills in defense of this B site. Bomb now getting planted for FaZe, sure, but it's a 2v5 that they've got to hold on to. Bit of damage done to open. Twister's going to try and take space, and he will do exactly that. Now it's just the cave hold left to deal with.
You just can't relax. Not for a moment. Krasner, oh, they just end it in an instant. FaZe pull back a 2-on-5, and then Monte saved the day with a double. Just coming straight through cave. There was no question whether those last two players were inside of there for FaZe, and they still can't convert it. Nice try from Twist, but Monte win the half at a bare minimum on the CT side. There's something to be said for that as well. This map has definitely got more.
Krasnal to open. Raid, as he does best, gets a trade over towards cave. FaZe looking to split the difference in round 15 and offer up one more here. They've kept it even for themselves now. They're going to try and take middle. It's smoked down, and oftentimes Sumdayoung's been playing over the top of that. So if your FaZe even seeing it in mid maybe gives you a moment of pause here. Wara's scoped in. Creeping underneath him is Boros. They're playing this double cave setup. Now, FaZe have often smoked the entrance to cave from the site side, right? So there is a world where this AWP rifle could get locked out. But it looks like FaZe want to try and come in through cave. And this is not to their benefit, not with this hold that Monte are running here.
Unscope on that Molotov. It leaves Boros alone. He's got to do everything. Wara re-peeks through it after smoking it and still gets that follow-up kill. A second too slow for Twist. Would have found that trade onto the AWP. But now FaZe again are in another 2-on-4, and Boros even goes a step further. This probably won't be cleared, right? It's so late to play this position. He goes for both. Runs out of ammo. Twist turns around, and the clutch has begun. Can they shut it out before it starts? Yes, they can. Monte win the half, and solid at that. 9 rounds on the CT side. The major has started, and it's already looking scary for FaZe.
Monte lead the charge. 9-6 up after a convincing CT side. 9-6 as well makes it sound like this was a pretty close affair, but it opened up 4-1 in favor of FaZe, right? And then Monte only allowed them 2 more rounds past that point. They went on a 5-round streak to begin their CT side. So it was actually a very, very convincing first half from Monte. FaZe getting challenged a hell of a lot. They never really had lane control. Whenever Monte wanted it, it was theirs. There was a lot of proactive moves being taken by Monte on that defensive half.
Yeah.
So now the onus falls to FaZe Clan, and they kind of want to hit the ground running here, right? A big bulk of how they looked good out of the gate was finding success in the pistol, and then with their force after they lost that second round to the force buy of Monte.
Well, we've got nice early info for FaZe. Rops has elected to make an aggressive play, and that's going to reinforce the B site. Karrigan can move over quicker as well. Smokes come down, flash over the top, but it's Rain with, again, first blood in these pistol rounds. It's going to put us in a 5v4. Control taken on long, and a flashback in. It's a second too early. Boros still gets away with a kill, but Karrigan makes this round FaZe's for now. 2-on-2. The retake is on. They've got a kit, but they're being cut apart. Twist has to go back for it in a 1v1 against Krasnal.
And he's just playing it right behind default here. Twist is going to have to push up and clear this angle. Krasnal realizes he's not around from the long side, and now Twist is making steps. That gives him an easy route in the 1v1. The info goes his way. Beautifully played.
Damn, that's a round that comes down to, you know, the minutiae, the milliseconds, right? Like the timing of Boros swinging long versus Karrigan flashing Rain back in. If Boros swings earlier, if Karrigan flashes later, that FaZe have him blind, they have him right where they want him, but instead he gets away with one more kill, and it makes all the difference when it comes down to a 1v1 like that. Some nice shots for Karrigan. And FaZe need the force buy. They have to force buy in this round. They must upset it. Otherwise, Monte are going to be 12-6 up before FaZe have guns on CT side. It's not enough room. FaZe know this round now is almost a necessity. We're seeing both teams play ahead of this red smoke right now, using it as a one-way. But Monte know what's coming. They won't swing out mid. They go back to A main. That's an awful smoke for Brokey. But I think he's realized it as well. Backing up. And DemQQ doesn't want to jump the gun either. Awaiting his whole team. Krasnal still rotating through spawn.
Yeah, dude,
FaZe are at least here with 3.
They're here with 3, but the thing that's so awkward about that smoke is it's given Monte like so much confidence coming out of main. They've already cleared the boost, right? And that's like a big responsibility dealt with. They've cleared Temple. So already they've really cut down the number of angles where this D can be. They're all looking at default. They're all looking at Donut. They're getting taken down by Brokey, though. His Deagle stands and delivers. And now Carrigan rotates in with the MP9. Spam damage is good for Carrigan as he brings FaZe back into the fold, and Brokey makes up for the missed smoke with the double kill from the Deagle.
No doubt. And that's, as we said, just had to come through for FaZe if they wanted to remain competitive in this game. This would have been so lopsided without that force buy win. Seeing, a return to force buy percentages. I think at one point a couple of years ago, especially during the online era, it was like 55% for some of the top teams on second round buys, especially on CT sides. Game was a lot more CT sider back then though than it is right now. So huge round for FaZe. But Monte were just fine in repeating traditions back on their CT side, where we had 4 rounds in a row of full buying, or 3 rounds rather. FaZe still won that out. Can they do it again?
It's a very bare bones force as far as they go.
Ooh.
Oh.
Not ideal. How does that bounce backwards? Rain will take it though, it doesn't get extinguished. An instant cave smoke gives Monte the control.
Oh, they hear the reload from Rain, and they've come through this smoke.
Love that.
Ballsy, There always could be a second man there. It could have been a bait trying to bring you in. But they're now, kind of throwing the timer of FaZe through a bit of a loop. And as Rain moves back in, he does well to adjust to that close player. 1 kill out of DemQ before all is said and done. And now Carrigan takes up position over on long. This is a very committed angle. And the moment he fires, he's got to reposition here. I feel like so often if you play that corner over towards long, you just see him get pre-fired, but they've just seen the man rotate up ledge, so now they know this is the B play, and you can see that reflected in these rotates. There's 3 players over here for FaZe right now. 3 players in the right place.
Yeah, Monte know, FaZe know, they know they're running into a stack, but they don't really have a choice. With this deep position on cave, they're going to have to make it work. 20 seconds, no nades left for Monte to make moves. That one flash will push them in. Carrigan swings blind as well, and it's up to Brokey once more with another double. Twist can try and stop a bomb plant. He takes 2 more clean shots to close. Twist has activated in the CT side, starting to come back into his own and put FaZe up to 8. That's more uncomfortable than that round has any right to be, given the weaponry, the positions, and the info FaZe have. But at the end of the day, Harry, a win is a win, a round is a round, and FaZe will take at least 8. Full eco now for Monte, and this gap can close. Great to see Boros perform, right? I think there's so much pressure on knowing that you are the star of the show for a team like Monte, even though we've talked about how the pressure is definitely more on FaZe in winning this game. For Boros, as a very young player, very inexperienced LAN player, you need him to play well if they were ever going to upset this game or make a run at the major as well. And this is a guy that's only played like 3 LANs across his career. HLTV did a great article about him and his history, obviously coming through an Endpoint and you know, making the move to Monte after a downtime of not playing any Pro CS, and just how many eyes he captured back at the RMR with some unbelievable maps from this young Jordanian player. Second player we've had out of Jordan in any relevant sphere since Issa, of course. Great to see more representation from the region. Right now he's the top of the team.
Oh, the boost in mid is nice. Morrow put up there as FaZe try to take this lane control. But theirs is, you know, less convincing than when Monte did this all first half long. They're a man down, and sure, like, they have the control of lane, but it's not in like a super comfortable manner, right? The only guy actually kind of flexing the control is Karrigan. Rain can try and swing down the ramp and get involved a little bit later, but these are all fights that are a little more 50-50, right? Are ones where Monte can win them. Rain gets out with that kill there onto Boros, and he just kind of counts that as a lucky break, finds himself the 4v4, the equalizing kill, and so now plays it a little more passive back inside of the site. No longer committed to fighting for this lane control. That gives Monte the room, though, to lob out this exec in towards B.
Sundayoung is lurking middle at the same time. They're going to flash lane. As I said, no control still. Rain on a nice off angle to catch a kill and try and get back behind default. The player comes up unsuspecting. They need a flash for this one. Rain tries to block the smoke. It's locked him out of the bomb site. It's only Karrigan here who can contain, can compete, and he falls after one. The mid lurk even cuts down Rops on rotation. Rain with that block smoke has a gap to fight through, but they take short space instead, and Warrow waits in the fade. Rain should be dead as Sundayoung flanks as well. Very active. He knew exactly what Rops' pathing was going to be there coming through on Donut. We've already seen it in a couple of these rounds to try and flank the B play. And even though it's not necessarily needed to kill Rops, they got all the entries in B. That certainly relieves the pressure if FaZe wanted to go for a retake.
And that one feels a little rough for FaZe because it feels like, you know, the fashion in which you lost that round, it's like you were hard counted every step of the way. They were ready for all the angles that were being held inside of the site. They were ready for the path to rotate out through middle. They had Sundayoung even flank Rain in at the very end as he hides out on an island over towards Long. And they had the boost to open to shut down Twist's favorite mid move, which is to jump over at the ledge and try to fight early for that lane control.
Full AXX, they're going quick. It's only Rops here. He's going to avoid flashes. He might be able to multi-kill from this position. They've not mollied it for a change. Oh, it looks awkward, but Rops makes it work. And attention getting drawn sets him up for more. 2 kills from Rops is more than you could ask. And Twist falls immediately. It's up to Brokey, looking like he wants to go through this smoke. Very Brokey-esque in a position named after the man himself, but he won't do it. Warrow gets aggressive, maybe too far as Karrigan holds, and Brokey will close with his AWP as well.
Dude, that's a little awkward at the end there. I felt like maybe there could have been a slight lapse in the communication because it was Karrigan who got the kill from CT, and then the guy that they kill as he moves up is not Finn, right? So would have liked to have, you know, because then Warrow just ends up walking into an angle that's being held by Karrigan. And that was info that Monte were privy to.
Yeah.
And, you know, that is an important round to win if you were ever going to do it. Like, if Monte won that and they go 12-9 up and there's no money for FaZe at that point, you know, they're running towards the finish line. Suddenly, you've kind of made this game a lot more grindy. You've kept the door open for FaZe.
And Monte called out their first timeout as well. You'll notice, you know, they felt comfortable this entire game, but another note of that is the fact that their coach, LMBT, formerly of Hellraisers, and even a very successful Mouse lineup with Rops in the team, for crying out loud, you know, is unable to attend this major. So Monte are doing it without the assistance of a very experienced coach, which is a shame. So just chatting through. Sundayoung centerpiece. Of course, the most experienced player, having been in that Na'Vi roster for some time, but it's Warrow at the helm. FaZe fight through the mid-smoke again with a one-way. And let's see what Monte have decided for their breaking round, right? You lose this, you're back to pistols. The caveman is here, club in his hand. He's going to get flashed back.
Speaking like a second before the flash goes off, wrecks Young. They want to try and come through Cave.
Nice.
They were teeing themselves up for that, and it's Young's flash that destroys Rain. He never had a chance. Makes it way too easy for Boros.
It's a good angle, though.
Yeah, great one to just get out with a kill, get out with that equalizer, right? You don't have to hang around, you don't have to get caught fighting, you just have to nail that shot, and Brokey will do exactly that.
If FaZe make this move now, they are going to uproot the entire round. But there's a spam, that's random, out of nowhere. Krasnal kills Karrigan, and Twist doesn't want to commit, but that ramp push could have given them all the info in the world. It's now an A play, and Rops may be unsuspected. Krasnal, he can die with nothing, but he's trying to sell this play before they commit. He will fall, and now it's all on Rops. Swinging early, they line up, but it's only 1 in damage.
Plant now in, Monte. They've got a few seconds here to try and find this post plant. Young nails Brokey on the cross at spawn, and for Twist, this is going to be a very late retake as he sneaks up through main. Might have the drop on the first player, but it's the fact that, you know, they're kind of worlds apart right now, Monte, and that's going to work to their benefit here. They're even teed up holding the temple, so they're not open to the extremities of this main flank. You know, even if Twist goes around this corner and finds Young, he won't be able to win the round. He won't be in a position to do so, and so he's just got to write this one off. Monte see it through to the very end with that A play.
And Krasnal dies with nothing, right? But what does that do? That forces, at least makes Rops feel like it's the B play. I'm going to swing. You know, I'm on the extremity. I'm so far away that I should get ready to rotate for this B hit. But no, he swings and they're all there. Krasnal dying sells Rops' position, and he only gets 1 kill. That's a spot where if Rops doesn't move off this position, he probably multi-kills and FaZe win the round. But Krasnal dies for a greater cause. And Monte find that buy when their money was on the edge.
And now you're kind of celebrating if you're Monte, right? Because we said, you know, in the round prior to last, where there was like that 2v2 that ends up getting away from them. There's the push from Waro into the spawn, into Karrigan, and that like tips the scales to FaZe. We were saying, well, that round hurts, and they even supplemented it with a little tack pause coming into that previous round. But now you've kind of got that gratification of breaking your opponent's money this late in the game. That tees you up for a win. That tees you up for a victory. If you can knock down this cobbled together buy out of FaZe, you are right where you want to be. And there's 1 rifle round between you and winning this opening BO1 at the Blast TV Paris Major.
Wow, if there was one man, he's on your screen, AK in the donut, and Monte are coming his way. Known for his headshots, needs more than 1 here. Especially out on an island like this position. They're going to come through with a flash. Twist, that's a clean shot. He takes 2. You've got to be happy with that if you're FaZe. But is it enough is the question.
Oh, jump at the gun a bit is Brokey on that backstab. Whoa,
they saw him.
Rain! They run him down. He gets caught overextended by just like an inch over in mid. And it makes all the difference. Now there's a route to the B plant open. When you've seen backstabs like that, you know that FaZe are trying to rotate, trying to get ahead of this play. 1 man still in the B site, but he'll get checked. They know about Karrigan. And so the round is Monte's. They keep it in check in spite of Twist's best efforts. Those were 2 clean kills to open. A 5v3 for FaZe Clan for a moment. But it ends up going the way of Monte.
I do love the way that Monte clear 50-50 angles at times. Like, they're such a band of boys. Like, one of them was always jumping around a corner, and you see how difficult that makes Karrigan's 1D. Like, if a player swings him there, he has a very good chance of hitting a 1D and setting up for a double kill, winning the round. But no, the first player jumps, offsets his crosshair, and sets his teammate up for that kill. That's a really nice way of, you know, desperately running into B in the last second. And now FaZe full eco. Got to accept the inevitable 14 rounds. Any resistance they can put up is fantastic. But Monte right now are doing what many said could but shouldn't happen. But it was all in the back of our minds, Harry. This is no G2 versus the Mongols. This is prophesized by many.
Yeah, I mean, you know, as mentioned, they're now just one rifle round away from the win here. If all goes according to plan, that is.
I mean, this round's looking, done.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, I'm never including this round in that conversation. You're good, man.
And sure, FaZe, yeah, they have a 1-4 buy. They won't have an AWP on Brokey. That's the downside. But they'll have everything else, essentially. But am I just coping?
Yeah, I just think, we need a little more out of... I want to see more out of Brokey on the AWP.
Yeah.
Because he's been pretty quiet. And first half, there was like money problems, so he didn't really have it all too much, right? Haven't seen him with a glowing amount here in the second, but even when he does have the AWP, he's just been struggling to really find that impact. And you're already getting a good game out of Rain and Twists. So you really just need that kind of one extra player to lend a bit of a helping hand here.
They're hunting, they're closing, and a couple of kills on the way out for Robs. But unless he's going to glass, we won't see this AWP for FaZe. It's 14 rounds to Monte, and you said it comes down to a gun round. This is that gun round.
Yeah.
This is that moment for FaZe. If you had any faith left in this BO1.
Dude, it's kind of wild as well, because like someone else that you could easily say, could be that hero figure is someone like Robs, but Monte haven't been going A all too much. Normally whenever they do, they make life just super miserable for him as like the anchor player over towards this side of the map, right? I feel like he's kind of been getting bullied by util, flushed out of position. It's real hard to exist in that A site when you're up against a team that have a nice exec.
They went A twice, or 3 times. Once they mollied him, once he got a double kill from Big Box, and once he swung early and went 1-for-1. So yeah. It has been a rough
And it's like, normally he's kind of playing within the confines of, they've already taken fights and won fights elsewhere, so he's kind of in a position where he has to try and get info, where he has to be a little more active, and then that throws him into the crosshairs more. So that's why, I'm not bringing him up as the man that could save this whole thing. I think if you're looking for a third player to get switched on, it kind of has to be Brokey at this point in time.
Here we go. Game on this round right now, but Warrow's got the AWP as well. He's going to get mollied. Rain, maybe he sees something here. He's trying to play ahead of a flash. Resmoke comes through, and even Rain is prepared for an abundance of util. He'll give it up, and rightly so. Brokey rotates back towards A. Info is really all on Donut right now as Robs jiggles to set Twists up. Rain has been proactive in a good way.
He's going to get flashed in a ramp.
Oh, the nades are out. They've seen him, I think. No, it doesn't look like it. They are screwed right now. Rain gets flashed, and there's a double. That's what we needed.
Yeah, lovely little interplay between him and Carrigan. You could see that one coming together, right? You saw Carrigan peeling back on the long side, getting ready with the flashbangs, Rain playing up close to the ramp. And when he sees them jumping around like that, when he sees util pulled, his players trying to boost, he's rubbing his hands together. That's the kind of the difference-making double that tees up this round for FaZe Clan. Now they've got to do good on what Rain started. Carrigan falls first in defense of the B side, but Rain just keeps winning. Finds himself another from the cave, even spam damage. Rain knocked out, still in with a chance here, Monte. It's just Boros left standing, and he is pincered in. They are all around him, coming up ramp, fighting him from cave. FaZe keep him in a box. So they will secure an 11th round, living to fight another day.
That's something that FaZe do a lot on different maps. Right before Rain goes down, they throw this smoke on ramp, and that just like confirms to Monte, like, oh yeah, we're safe. They just smoked ramp, we can go for the boost, knives are out, nades are being pulled as well, and that's when Rain makes his move. We see that on ramp, sometimes on Mirage. FaZe will molly it right after we get a push, and just the audio cue sets you off a little bit. It makes you think you have more room than you do. It's a nice move from Rain. 3 kills in the round. And now FaZe can try and build this late game comeback. Quick flash, and Boros does it again, winning that cave fight. Not again! Boros can win a round single-handedly, and right now he's trying to end this map in that fashion. 2 kills. He's finally snuffed out, but Monte has A.
In A. Yeah. This bomb's going to get retrieved, and the opportunity to deny the rotate of the bomb is now out the window.
Nothing is safe. And Rops can cut this off.
Oh, yeah, this is weird. So Krasnal has the bomb, but he knows that they could have taken mid. They could have spawn even right now. And so he kind of feels boxed in.
They're ending B.
Yeah, they're going to have to play around the world, try to join back up with this bomb. It's found itself out on no man's land here. And so this whole round comes down to Demke, really, getting away with something on this push through the B site. Now, he shouldn't be expected, but the angle that's being held by Brokey, oh, he's just turned away. This is a whole timing that decides the outcome of the round, and the smoke in his way. Brokey denied access, denied this angle, and that allows the bomb to rotate in for free. FaZe, it's a 2v2 retake to try and keep themselves in the game.
The clock is ticking as well. DemQQ in a one and done position. He catches Brokey, but he's still going to go down, and Krasnal falls to Rops. It's a quick couple of kills for FaZe as Monte try and bring the fight to them, and they fall. 12 rounds. You can never say it's impossible. At 14-10, FaZe try and pull it back bit by bit. They're having to work for these rounds, but that's 2 in a row now, especially with this opener from Boros, where he finds a double up in that fashion. That's a very scary round for FaZe, and you wanted more from Brokey, Harry. That is it. That is the round you were praying for. Massive impact. Closed by Rops. And a wasted opportunity by Monte, but I love the way, just the way that they, made that 2v2 interesting.
Yeah, like I think within the confines of what was available to them, they played it perfectly, right? Rooting all the way through spawn into the B play. Now they're going to go back towards this A site. Rops closed that last round out in the. Oh, flashing through. He's right with them.
Wow.
A wolf in sheep's clothing here as he's running with the pack over in main. He's locked them out. And over in Donut, Brokey wins a separate fight. A 4v2 for FaZe Clan. And they're now getting mobile.
They got some oomph in them now, Harry. We're starting to see a couple of multi-kills, a couple of key players find confidence-boosting rounds right at the end. And Monte realized they have not cut the head off the beast yet. It is still roaring. This round is dead in the water, especially if Karrigan can contain towards B. He's got a 1v1.
I love this timing. Oh, he's caught. Waro 2K going to get rid of Karrigan, and now the alarm bells sound for FaZe. They're paranoid that this could be the B play. And I think Monte might just elect to save here. They've looked into it. They've crunched the numbers on this one, and they don't like what they see on the horizon.
I mean, yeah, this is not a bad call. It's a pretty unlikely 2v4 attempt as well with low health and util. So I don't mind this save for Monte, but it's also a sign of the times. They can see it just as well as we can that the late activation may be a factor for FaZe. And hey, better late than never, as they say. Great play for Robs. A completely new position. He's tried anchoring from passive angles, but plays ahead of the smoke, dodges the flashes. Even though Monte right-click a flash in the smoke, he still just dodges it. Heads up play for Robs. And so while it was rain in the first half, twists coming in at the start of the second, now we've had that multi-kill round for Robs. Brokey's performed and saved the day. FaZe have no reason to quit now. And Monte throw almost everything into this. They kind of need the bomb plant, even though they've got loss bonus up to 3. Bomb plant would go a long way in this round. Let's see what their strat is for it. They're definitely aware.
Ooh, this is a lot of space being taken, but walking the smoke like that. Thought we might have seen, a little bit of util come out to help. Waro had a flash over towards the ledge, but electing to save that till later in the round. Wanting to try and play with timings was Boros. Ends up giving away that first kill for free, but a bit ugly on that cave fight. Rain does damage through the spam, but only brings Krasnal down to half.
Brokey plays so scary positions, pushes in with the cable, tries to get a quick 1-for-1 as they feed him, and he will take it from a safer line instead. Smoking it off. Sundayoung was going for the gun. And Robs with a 1v1. It's a huge consequence. He closes his as well. 4-on-2 again for Monte. Bomb plant out of the window, and off the ledge goes Waro. Another round Monte will forget. Unless Krasnal's got something up his sleeve, but no bomb. And FaZe have surrounded him. 14 apiece. Just when you thought this game was done, 14-10 for Monte, and FaZe with a late activation may have saved their lucky stars.
Yeah, you know, I mean, at this point in time, it's either going to be a sick case of like Monte overcoming a FaZe clan that have switched on, that are trying to bring this back, trying to go the distance, and that would be huge, you know, because you often say that as the game, you know, goes to full 30 rounds, as it gets close and down to the wire, the more experienced team tends to fare better there, right? On top of that, for FaZe, this could be a very reassuring result. The idea that, yeah, they might not have had everyone starting off strong, but they successfully built back in over the course of the BO1. No matter how we try and slice it, it's going to be gold, and Monte go back to taking this lane control. They've also got players over in mid. Spread out across the map here, trying to exert a bit of control, and they've got middle in the bag. And one man fighting for this is that AWP over towards Donut. With red smoked off, they don't have to worry about twists in this position.
These are just the hardest moments to call in for Warrior in this position, right? Even as Cadian said, everyone wants to make a call at 14-7. What about now? What about now? You want to make the call? Not an easy position to be in when the Barbarians are at the gate. Double setup is lovely for FaZe as well, and Brokey doesn't have to stay on cave, because Rain still has the angle, but any peeks he makes, any info he gets is only going to set Rain up for another multi-kill, and he's been full of them. It's going to be a B execute here, 40 seconds.
Young's about to try and lurk through middle, and in doing so, he's probably going to give away this kill to Brokey on the AWP.
It's Robs.
Oh yeah, Robs rather.
Oh, Twist just dropped the gun, and
Twist
Robs
goes
only hits a leg. They're hitting B.
Now they're coming in, and now Brokey's got to hold the line. Hang on, that kill over in mid has opened up a path to rotate. Monte moving through. This AWP on Robs has got to deliver. There's not a lot of time here. And as they move in, one kill in the right place could decide the whole round.
Done it.
Robs has done it. They keep running at him, and Robs finds everyone. Carrigan to close, and it's FaZe to reach 15 first.
Oh,
Robs.
dear.
That shining light has carried them through, and now map point now resides with FaZe Clan.
It was too late, and it was certainly too little. It felt like Twist's death had baited Monte in as well, and Rops's leg shot wasn't enough, but they didn't have the clock for that play. They didn't have the room. They couldn't trade Rops, and that is a desperate call for Monte, feeling the pressure under the hammer, and 15-14 now. FaZe can feel it. 6 rounds in a row to close this BO1, to do what they should have done a long time ago. And now it's just desperate. Wheels are off. Dry up B. FaZe will deny it. They see the AWP, and they don't like it. 2 flashes, 2 smokes, and a 4-on-5. Odds are dropping by the second.
Yeah, there was even damage through the spam in mid. Rain spammed down another man over towards cave, and Rops tries to keep fighting, tries to keep forcing the issue. Will end up giving away 1 kill. Barros finds him, but he was the man dinked crossing mid through the red smoke. So he's a little more tame in this round.
They thought the AWP was B, that's where they last saw it, but it has gone back to cover the CT spawn. FaZe just know it's a B hit right now. Even Brokey is leaning. They are ready to close.
Oh, good damage on the spam. They're going to try and boost up over the top of this. Doesn't really give you an angle. Carrigan's cleared out inside of the side, and now Boros! They might have tagged him up to start the round, but that's still not been enough to slow this guy's roll.
Wow.
He's even got another. Boros is on for the ace. He started this round with 30 HP, and he's tried to be the hero to keep Monte in this. Twist pushing around, goes looking for him, and he will steal it away. You thought Boros had done enough, but Twist arrives and denies the ace, finds the 1v2, and secures the opening win for FaZe Clan.
Boros is still the talent we know and we love, but FaZe get ahead of their demons. They come back from 14-10, and they close the map with so many star moments, so many clutches coming through. Exactly what you would want from FaZe Clan. They will win their opening BO1 in Paris, and the road is looking good so far.
The clock truly strikes the 11th hour, but FaZe make it through by the skin of their teeth. Mario, you aptly called them the procrastination kings. And man, they get that essay submitted just in time. But Monte, they made that one so damn painful.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, just to build off of that narrative, I mean, FaZe, they're down in this one, 14-10, and they bring it all the way back.